Okay, in this video I'm going to attempt to do a tutorial on how to customize Bodhi Linux. This is a clean installation in a virtual machine. I've only installed it, ran the updates as advised from the command line, and then installed three things from the command line myself: Pale Moon, Firefox, and NeoFetch. So I'm going to start by installing the things that I'm going to use to customize it. We're going to add the Bodhi themes. We're going to add the Moksha modules. Just add them all because it's easier than sorting. And Plank Dock. Shouldn't take too long, so we can. So while that's going on, I'm using a virtual machine, 1 gig of memory, and one single 1.6 gigahertz CPU. So this is equivalent probably to like an old netbook or something like that. The machine it's running on natively is a 10-year-old Sony laptop. So we get this closed. That was just to show you what the base system was. So I'm going to start by configuring this bottom shelf. First I'll show that we can how to add some modules. We're going to do a lot of things on the settings panel. Start in the settings panel, and we will go to modules, to extensions, modules, and remove things I'm not going to use. So that I'm going to remove the regular clock because I'm going to use a custom clock. I'm going to move the I-bar, which is the quick shortcuts, because I'm going to use a custom dock. I'm going to remove the pager because I hardly ever use virtual desktops, and I can remember to hit Alt F2 if I want to. We keep the screenshot, keep the start menu, keep the system tray. I'm going to remove the taskbar because I'm going to use a custom dock, so I don't need the launcher or the taskbar. Now on this shelf, I'm going to actually remove a couple things. Even though I've now unloaded modules, there's still... So I'm going to add the settings module while I'm here, because I'm going to be going to that so often. I would like quick access to it. We'll add the notifications. Notification history module there. I'm going to remove the start button. I'm going to remove the shutdown button. Okay, that's one shelf. Now what else can we do with that shelf? Let us rename it so that I remember it's for my system tray. Sorry, sometimes the system tray shelf. Okay, and then settings, we will put it above things. We will move it to the bottom right. We will cut the height in half, and we'll shrink it. So let's see what that does. Now it's just a tiny little thing over there with a few things on it. Great. Let's add another shelf. What do we got here? Let's close that out of the way so we can see what's going on. Add. We'll call this one the top shelf. And I'm just going to put the starter, the everything starter, and shutdown on it. Okay. Did I get that? Yep. And then settings and position. Okay, I'm going to put this below everything and let stuff overlap it. It's just there for fun, for looks. I don't need those buttons every second. And we're going to take that down to mainly kind of like as a header, so it looks like a title bar or something. And I'm also going to put a clock up there later, so it'll work better, make more sense when you see the final design. Just didn't mean to go off. Okay, that's looking fine. Alright, so that everything launcher is, so that I removed the start button, but you can click anywhere for the start menu, so it's not a important thing to need to have a start button. And this everything starter has an applications menu on it, so it has a start menu basically. It has shows you all your active windows, so we can go look to see how terminology is doing on these downloads. And it's also got another access to the settings panel, without going in 2 settings without going through the settings panel. So there's plenty of ways to get to things. I'm gonna let's start looking in that settings panel at things we can customize while we're waiting. Application theme. I didn't add any application themes. We're going to change that. We're not going to match the Moksha theme, although we are going to stick with the theme that it started with, Art Green. The reason is because I'm going to change the Moksha theme, but I want to keep this as the application theme for Firefox and PC Man File Manager. For applications, I want to I think for applications I want to use Ubuntu Mono Dark. Oops, I forgot to click the applications. And then I think I should just refix this all. So don't want that. So back to Art Green. And then Ubuntu Dark for the applications. Okay, that should be okay. That looks good. Theme, colors, fonts, border, scaling. I do want to scale it. You'll see why when I switch themes. For one thing, the theme I switched to has a smaller font size in general. So these things won't be as big as they are, but as they are now. Let's see how those downloads are going, huh? Where'd that start button go? It's really weird, actually. Huh. Did I forget it? No, I had it there. I think it had to do with the way when I was dragging it around, I had it up and down. I might have accidentally put it on the desktop. Oh, did I accidentally put it on the desktop? Sometimes those things can happen. So I go to Settings, Gadgets, Background. Do I have anything on there? I do. I put it in the background. Whoops. Okay. I just want it on the shelf. That's it. Okay, and we stop moving these. Alright. That looks good. Let's do terminology. I want the theme. We're going to get rid of all this blue and stuff eventually, don't worry. Whatever you're worried. So settings, I guess, would be the where to start to get to the theme. Setting theme. Oh, black. Cool. Right. How's that other terminology doing? Done. Great. Now we can do some theming. So start messing with the theme. Main theme, which is this one. And I'm going to change it to Moksha Green to start with, which shrinks things a bit and gives it a blacker background for things. So this is where I'm going to be changing, customizing. You can see that some things changed when that happened, some things didn't, but I'm going to change some things back and some things are going to stay the same. First, let's just go through and change a few things I know I want to change. The borders. It did change borders with this other theme, but I don't want those borders. I want Moksha detour borders, so I will assign those. Let's apply it so you can see what I'm doing one step at a time. See, now I've got these borders with these kind of closed buttons. Wrong color, but I'll change the color soon. I'm going to go for a green theme. So we'll go down this list. What else do we want to change? Let's change the shelf that's in the background too. I'm going to colorize it, but before I do so, let's change it to this passion. It's got this cool gradient that kind of glows and looks nice. It doesn't look that special with this color, as you can see. It looks cool with silver too, but I'm not going to go with silver anyway. So then, what else do I want to change? I want that green shutdown button back. So that is called the syscon. System configuration, system control. Anyway, I'm going to switch it over to back to where it started, arc green. Is there anything else I want to put arc green while I'm here? Let's, like that notification exclamation point. It looks better in arc green, I think. It's a different shade of green, so I'm going to assign that too. And the battery, same thing. It's a different shade of green, and I think think I like that other one better. Where's the battery? So I'm going to set it to arc green. And speaker too, that's the mixer. Change that to arc green. And let's apply that and go from there. Okay, let's do some color customizing. See why this is supposed to be green. Okay, so colors. Oh, I shouldn't have done that so big because then you can't see the title bars changing and stuff. Okay, so colors. I'm going to change the window border frame to add some green to it. And the active one, do the same thing. Maybe a little more green, but just something like that. Okay, and then now the title's hard to read, right? So I'm going to change the title to just plain white. Title text. This is the non-active, so I'll go maybe not as fully bright as the other one. But it still doesn't look that great because there's not a shadow. Let's put a shadow on it. Better, more readable. Okay, and then for the active one, we'll do the same thing. But this time I'll just max out the white, get it bright so it's a little different than the other one. And again, I think we need a shadow. But we'll do an outline. Do an outline and a shadow. That'll look better. Apply. Yeah, cool. Alright. So we got that, and then the shelf background base. We'll get some green in there too. Right, looking good. Okay, now now I need some more modules. Now that they're done installing, I can load them. So I'm going to go over to the extensions, to the modules, and load some of these ones that I want to use. I want a calendar module. I installed them all. I don't need them all loaded. I'm just going to load the ones I want to use. Yeah, I'm not going to get fancy with the forecast. Well, we could. Maybe. I'll load it just for the heck of it. And pager, photo, productivity. So I'm going to add this other screenshot module. And we're going to add this T-clock because you can customize the text string. Alright, that looks good. Under system, let's add the temperature monitor, CPU temperature. And under look, we're going to want compositor for the transparency, which I'm going to enable next in terminology while I'm thinking of it. While we're here, startup applications, we're going to add, I'm going to use this launcher this dock called Plank. It's super lightweight. We're still going to be low on resources. And since we unloaded the taskbar and stuff, it kind of balances it out itself anyway. So I said I was going to let's add that. There. It'll come. We added to startup applications. It'll come up automatically. But that's this launcher here, and I'm gonna get the terminal settings panel. No, it's under applications. Terminal, and we're gonna add it to this dock. Dock. I think I'll also add it to my favorites menu, so I can always get a terminal quickly. Okay, so we got that. I was going to do transparency and some other settings too, like scaling. But first, let's do a transparency. So that is the background. We're going to make it translucent. Pretty dark though. And then the toolkit. I'm going to change the scale up to about 1.3 maybe. And then let's go to elementary config. This you have to come back and set if you change other things because it gets reset by other items, but I'll just see how it is for now. Leave my theme at green, change my icons to this arc green because they are a darker icon theme that look a little better for me, and they match to me better. I like this color. Okay, and then so now we got a terminal. How are we doing for memory? I still think you'll see that we're doing great. 200 megabytes. Wow. Okay, let's configure this dock here a bit. So if I hold right click and control, that gets me its preferences menu, and I'll change the theme. On my real desktop I've downloaded a theme, but we'll just stick with one of the defaults here. Monitor Senator. Yep. We'll shrink it down. I don't know, 36 looks good. This icon zoom, I don't use this kind of stuff, but some people like it. I also don't like it hiding, so I just don't hide it. I just let it stay there all the time. And when I have a maximized window, it only goes to this shelf. But that's still a little too much underlap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add yet another shelf. This one is just going to be down there with nothing on it, just a little higher, so that there's more underlap. So I'm going to go to Extensions, Shelves, we'll call it the plank shelf, even though nothing will be on it. Close. Settings. We're going to put, we don't even care about it where it is. It's the bottom. Its size is going to be, let's try 32. Yeah, shrink and style invisible. Okay, so now, what did I maximize before something is a test? Oh, I maximized this terminal. Okay, maximize it again. I could have done 28, I think. I think 28 would be better. I think 28 would be a better size. So, because that shelf's going to be really hard to find, I'm just going to go back in through the settings shelves. Let's get those icons next. I want those green icons back. Okay, blank shelf, settings, size, let's do it about 28. Apply, close. Now, yep, that looks about right to me. Look good with a browser or something. Okay, next, what did I say I was going to do? Oh, those green icons, right, yeah, there's supposed to be green icons in this menus. Is the start shutdown at least green? It's that bright green. I like that. Anyway, let's go see what we can do about that. Settings panel. Application theme icons. So I was messing with this. What do we have it now? So if I go. No, so we go. That one we do for Moksha, I think. I think that's it. Now, yeah, there we go. Green for Moksha. That's what we want. Color for these, green for Moksha. This is just the settings panel, doesn't have an icon yet. I need to find one. What's next? I think this is looking pretty good. I don't want to spend forever, or I'll just start rambling. So, what can I do? Okay, T-clock. The next thing I want is the T-clock. That is because there's no clock here. So I'm going to add a calendar down here for one thing. System tray shelf. Contents, so we're going to put a calendar on that one. And what else shall we put on there? If we will put this other screenshot module, and that sounds good. So begin moving gadgets. Okay, let's, I notice this calendar is not green. Let's go do something about that. So we're going to go to the theme, and we're going to go to this one and the calendar. Switch that back to Moksha Arc green. Let's make sure that worked. Cool, green calendar there. Let's change that. I don't know, do I like that? I guess we'll stick with it. Nothing bad there. Let's rearrange these. Okay, stop being detailed. All right, and then for that temperature, I think maybe the temperature, there's got to be a one with a number on it. I think it's maybe detour or bling. Is it bling? Bling's got a number on it. Let's try that one. You can never quite tell the scale until you put them there. Yeah, that looks good. I can read it. Almost read it. Close enough. Probably when it resets that'll be fine, or we'll have to do system tray spacing. But, okay, so we've got pretty green there. There's terminology gotten green. Yep, here mostly green. Still got one of those old things. This is what I was talking about. Two E fonts getting set at once, and they're, I don't know, but anyway, just go in. You can go into the normal settings panel way. Let's do it that way. Settings panel, preferences, elementary. It's going to be these icons. It's going to have two of them set. Or theme, I mean. Theme's going to have two of them set. No. Icons is? Don't get it. Don't actually see what's going wrong there. Okay, oh, clock. So, the clock. I want to have a clock that when I run this web browser full screen, or not full screen, maximized, I can still see the clock. And when it's, of course, when there's no desktop. So right now, when I maximize, I'm covering the whole bar. That's fine. I don't need those things all the time, but I do want a clock here and here. So I'm going to put it on another shelf on top of everything. So we got this one on the bottom, then my windows will be in the middle, and then there'll be another one on the top of that. So let's get that shelf to go. Setting, extensions, shelves. And we will call it the T clock shelf, because it's for the T clock. And the only thing on it is a T clock. We better add it though, and close. And then we will put its settings. We'll put it, allow windows to overlap it, but it's above everything. Position will be on the top. Size, let's just do some modifications before we mess with the size. I think 32 will be right, but and we'll do a 16 font, because see, I want this green text to be in the middle of that. We're going to hide this shelf. So let's, it's got three things. It's got a tooltip that you float over, as well as a top row and a bottom row. I'm not going to use the bottom row, I'm not going to use the tooltip. But I want to copy that text first, to make it easier, because I don't want to look it up right now. I'm just going to use what they did. Well, what someone did. Do it like that, maybe, and move the day before, get rid of that comma, and let's do the time at the end. Let's do 12-hour time. %I, colon, %M, %P. Sounds good. Show top line. Let's get rid of that first thing. Okay. We'll leave it white, and then shrink to content width, because it did some weird sizing stuff. We don't want to shrink to content width. Begin moving gadgets, and then we move it over here. And then we get the style. So style is going to be invisible. So we got the date there. So I still have Chromium open, or Firefox open. Yep, so you see it's up there. Got some Firefox going on. That's basically it. This has been the simple customization of Moksha. We've got things that are different than normal, like we've changed some colors around, mixed up the themes. Could do further customization from here. Oh, like that. This camera, this module. Why do I need that there? It doesn't seem to be doing much. 3, 2, 1. It's taking a screenshot, but I've already seen that there's a screenshot. It made a sound. I've already seen there's a screenshot here that takes a screenshot of the whole desktop, instant or delayed, however I want. I can even set it to be a different delay than that. So, what this one over here is useful for, go to settings, in my opinion, is using it for the region. So that and let's give it a folder, let's call screenshots. And I'm not going to tell it to launch the app, just let it go. So what I'm going to do here is, when I click this, it's going to give me the crosshairs, and then you can just take a clip of whatever you want. And if I don't have a file manager in my applications, system tools, file manager, now let's add that to the dock. Keep in the dock. What was I looking for? oh yeah, I was going to go to this screenshots folder. Oops. Did I do something dumb there? Anyway, I think it didn't I think I have to create the folder before it will use it, or it'll name the files after it. Got confused. Either that or I needed to put a slash at the end. Let's try that again. I don't have this problem normally, so it's just a... Where was it? This one. You have to wait for the crosshairs. It's faster on my real computer than this VM. And it did the screenshots. A folder appear? It did. And there's my screenshot. It'll open an open in... What did it open in? Firefox. Let's change that. Open with, I'm going to set the default, select as a default graphics photo. Okay. Cool. And what's next? I think we've shown off basically everything in this customization stuff, and otherwise I'll just be rambling. The only other cool thing, you know, the TieCat is, I gotta figure what's here. TieCat is this thing that'll let you look at JPEGs and stuff in the terminal. So if I wanted to know what the heck that BB install PNG is, I could just look at it here. Check that out. Hey, I could even it's enough. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that was there. BB install. Maybe I could use that as a NeoFetch icon. TieCat BB install.png. Does that work? No, not exactly, but we'll figure it out sometime. That's the end of this video. Moksha, super light, customizable. If there's something you think you like from another desktop, you can probably figure out a way to do it here. A little effort and a lot less resources. A lot more speed. The end, I think.